Cambridge IELTS 4 by University of Cambridge ESOL Examinations. Published by Cambridge University Press. This recording is copyright. CD 1. Test 1. You'll hear a number of different recordings and you'll have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you'll have a chance to check your work.
Part 1. You will hear a man telephoning a drama club about becoming its new member. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Green Street Drama Society, Jane speaking. How may I help you?
Oh, hi Jane. My name is James. I've just moved into the area and I'm thinking about joining your group. My friend Arthur Jones, is one of your members and he recommended that I join.
Oh, that's great. James, we're always looking for new members. Just to give you a bit of background, our amateur drama society has been running since 1976 and we currently have 80 active members, so it's a wonderful part of the community. Do you know where we are?
Yes, I think I have seen it. It's on the university side of the river near the main post office. If I remember correctly, it's on Green Street?
Yes, that's right. Number 117 Green Street is our postal address. If you want to come and check out the rehearsals, then you should come to the clubhouse. It's on the same road, just before the post office.
OK, got that. So what kind of things can I help out with?
We are actually currently looking for actors. Oh, and male singers. We already have 3 female members in the group.
That sounds interesting, but I'm afraid that I don't have any experience in acting.
Oh, that's okay. No experience is needed, because we will give you the necessary training. We are thinking of staging Hairspray as our musical for next year. Are you more interested in acting or singing?
Well, I would like to do acting. Most recently, my friend played the role of Harry Bright in Mamma Mia. That was with the Footlight Players in Brighton. It was great fun.
That's great. Oh, right. We also need people to lend a hand by running errands from time to time, mainly picking up props and costumes. Can you drive?
Yes, I've got a full license and I have my own car. That won't be a problem.
Fantastic. What else?
Oh yes, I nearly forgot. When are your meetings held? On Thursdays?
No, we used to have them on Thursdays. Now we meet on each Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Oh, I thought my friend Arthur said Thursdays.
Yes, that was actually for last year, and we usually close for our summer break for a few weeks in August. So our first meeting isn't until the 6th September.
OK, I will keep that in mind. Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 6 to 10. How much does it cost to join?
Let me just double check. Here it is. It is £60. I can also tell you that with the membership comes a club dinner, which we usually hold just before we close for the summer.
Oh, and do you have any concessional rates?
For those who are unemployed or retired, it's only £25. Last month there was a discount for retirees. The price was only £15, but now it's gone back to the original price.
I'm working, so that doesn't apply to me. I was thinking more about my kids. Just to check, is this an adults-only drama society, or are children able to join?
Unfortunately, children can't join at this stage. We have an age limit of 16. But they can join the local children's drama club. Would you like their contact number?
Yes, please. That would be useful. I have twin girls who are 12, and they really enjoy drama, so I was hoping there would be a club for them.
That's right. Get them on the stage when they're young. The contact person is Maria George, and her number is 564-732-18.
That's great. Thanks for that information. So, what types of plays do you mainly put on?
It's mostly modern plays. We don't really do classical stuff like Shakespeare or Molière.
I see. Do you organise any events on special days or occasions?
We do a Christmas charity performance each year with the money going to a children's hospital.
That sounds like fun. I hope I can be a part of that.
Well, we hope so too, and I look forward to meeting you soon. Would you like to come along in September?
Yes, that would be great for me.
We look forward to meeting you then, James.
Thanks, Jane. See you then. That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1.
You will hear a railway station staff member introducing the activities that passengers can do while waiting for their trains. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15. Dear passengers, welcome to Fitchton Railway Station. I'm sorry to inform you that the train to London is delayed. It will take off 2 hours later at 11:45 a.m. Please accept our apologies. In the meantime, allow me to introduce Fitchton Railway Station so you can make the most of your time while waiting for the train. The main entrance of the station is on Fitchton Road. If you want to take a bike ride around here, walk down Fitchton Road and past the taxi stop. You can find a bike rack on the right. But if you just want to stay in the station, it's okay. You can find a luggage locker when you enter the station. It's on the left. You can put your luggage there. If you don't feel very well, or you need to buy some medicine, there's a chemist in the farthest corner of the station, opposite to the cafe. And you can have a cup of coffee at the cafe if you want. The big area near the cafe is the waiting room, where you can have a seat and relax. If you want to use the toilet, make a left when you enter the station, then turn right. Go straight until you walk past platform 2. It's right there at the end. The news agency is in the southeast corner of the station. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20. If you don't want to stay in the station, you can also have a look around the station. But make sure to get back in time for the train. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. The Fitchton College is within walking distance from the station. The view is quite good there. The town library is also just down the road if you want to read. Oh, there's also an art exhibition at the moment. You can go and check it out. The store across the street opens throughout the day, and you can find all kinds of stuff there. You don't want to buy any gifts for your friends there though. Most items would be difficult to carry on a bike. But our local food is something I recommend. It would be too late if you want them once you are on the train. You can buy some at the foodies shop, which is right next to the station. If you're looking for anything to wear during the trip, you'd better go to the department store, but I'm afraid there isn't enough time for that. You can send some postcards with local pictures on them to your friends and family. You can buy them in the community college which is near the museum. The old cinema behind the museum cannot compete against the new theatre in the shopping centre, so the current owner plans to make it an accommodation block instead. In the back of the train station you can see a statue of Richard Travolt, a local government minister who is famous for completing a lot of construction projects in our city. Again, I'd like to remind you the train will leave at 11:45. Please get back in time, and I hope you enjoy your time at Fitchton. That's the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Section 3. You will hear two students called Tom and Bella attending the third meeting of the after-school club. They are talking with their professor about the furniture company. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
Before we start, Tom and Bella, thanks for coming in today to talk about the key case studies that will help you to understand your classwork better. Now, I hope you've read the notes I gave you last week on the furniture company Willows, as this will be the focus of our discussion today. Let's begin. Who can tell me what the current focus of the company's business is?
The company used to be very large, with many retail outlets across the country. However, since the recession, there have been fewer people spending money on furniture, and so the company was forced to close all of its outlets, and now only operates online.
Well done, Tom. Bella, can you add anything?
Willows used to produce a very large number of products, such as tables, chairs, and light fittings. However, through market research, they realized that most of their profit was made from the sale of bookcases, so they now specialize in this one product.
Very good. Does anyone know how our department began its contact with Willows?
Did you contact the company, Professor?
No, Tom, it wasn't through me.
Our headmaster saw an article that the manager had written in the newspaper and became very interested in the company. He contacted Willows and arranged for a student to work there full-time during the summer.
Yes, exactly. Does anyone know what the student thought of their time working at Willows?
Yes, he is a friend of ours. He worked as a member of the design team, creating technical drawings of the furniture using a computer. There was a special software that he used, which he said had a bad interface and was very difficult to predict. However, it was very efficient and helpful for quickly drawing up furniture designs.
How interesting.
Yes, it was. We both visited him whilst he was working there, and he showed us around. Unfortunately, visitors were not allowed to access the IT department, but it was great to chat with his colleagues.
Did you meet his manager?
His manager is a very busy man, so he didn't have time to meet with us. However, we were allowed to inspect the accounts, which really helped us to understand the effects of the software on the company.
Well, what an exciting experience. Now, before I forget, next week I'll be conducting face-to-face interviews with each of you to prepare for job interviews.
Can we do it as a group?
I'm afraid not, Bella. I want to give each of you my undivided attention, and there will be too much disturbance if I interview you all together. Plus, it will be more realistic if I interview you alone.
Have you finished writing the feedback on our exam results, Professor?
Yes, I have, Tom, and I must say that I was not disappointed. I am glad to say that your performance has dramatically increased since you began attending this after-school club, and you have both scored above the average. If you continue to work hard, your results should soon improve significantly.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now, listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
Now, back to our discussion about Willows. Can anyone tell me what business decisions might benefit the company?
A new system would definitely benefit Willows. Their system is very outdated. I don't think it would help them to gain more profit. However, the system is capable of doing the work of hundreds of people. This would, therefore, significantly lower labor costs.
I agree. Unfortunately, unless they also replace the machinery in their workshop, the new system won't reduce the production time.
That is a shame. If they can't reduce their production time, they won't be able to increase sales. The answer is to hire more staff in order to increase the efficiency of the production line.
Yes, you have both made interesting points. Now for one final question before we finish this week's session. How will new clients be affected by the new system?
Unfortunately, the new system does not allow clients to connect to the Willows system from home, so they are unable to access their work online. This also means that the system presents no opportunity to attract more contacts, since clients are unable to view it from their homes.
Yes, that's true. However, it could definitely benefit clients who visit the showroom. The system is very interactive and allows clients to easily browse the furniture catalog, which will save them a lot of time.
It's a shame that staff are still needed to guide clients through the online system, as it means that no savings can be made in labour costs. I think the major benefit of the new system is that it enables staff to design the furniture in front of the client, which allows them to get a lot more involved in the design.
Bravo! You've both contributed fantastic points to our conversation. That concludes our session for today. I'll see you next week.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4.
You will hear a lecture about how carbon dioxide is produced from food and what are the effects of the emission problem. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Good afternoon, thanks for coming to today's lecture. In the last few decades, the environmental impact of food production and consumption has become one of the greatest concerns. When we look at what we eat and how we produce the food, we can find extensive evidence for how we damage our environment. Greenhouse gas emissions may come from livestock such as cows, agricultural soils, and rice production. According to statistics, the carbon dioxide emissions from the production of the food people consume every day are almost the same as the emissions we make when we are driving. Let's look at some more specific examples. The cultivation and processing of 100 grams of coffee beans are responsible for 140 grams of carbon dioxide. Now, some international organizations are training farmers in many countries to use sustainable agricultural methods as a way of reducing their carbon dioxide emissions. All agricultural practices have been found to have a variety of effects on the environment. Some of the environmental effects are associated with meat production. The popular red meat requires 28 times more land to produce than chicken, 11 times more water, and results in 5 times more climate warming emissions. According to another research, cooking process also causes greenhouse gas emissions. Scientists now are working on how to best minimize its impact. Another problem that we cannot neglect is the packaging of food products. As packaging takes a lot of energy, water, and other natural resources to produce. So, a lot of natural resources are wasted when we throw the packaging materials away. Furthermore, packaging waste produces a big amount of greenhouse gas. To make things even worse, the food we eat often comes from places far away. Therefore, the transportation of our food across long distances contributes to air and water pollution. In recent decades, with the growing number of population, more food is in demand, so more land has been used to produce food. Hundreds and even thousands of forests have been cut down. It had a devastating effect on the climate because forests can absorb greenhouse gases. People in different parts of the world apply various kinds of farming practices. In most countries, cows and other livestock are kept on the farms, while in some countries they are kept in a restricted area on a mountain, but they all contribute to the carbon dioxide emissions. And for animal agriculture, the problem can be more serious because the livestock need food all the time. In America, cows eat an overwhelming amount of corn and soybeans each year. In order to create a better world for us and our future generations, we should adopt sustainable agriculture. The goal of sustainable agriculture is to meet the world's growing demand for food at the present without affecting future generations. Every person involved in the food system, growers, food processors, distributors, retailers, consumers, and waste managers, can play a role in ensuring a sustainable agricultural system. There are many practices commonly used by people working in sustainable agriculture and sustainable food systems. Crop growers may change their food production methods to prevent pollution, although some other areas of agriculture are very hard to change, such as fishing. Consumers and retailers concerned with sustainability can look for foods that are environmentally friendly. However, sustainable agriculture is more than a collection of practices. It is also a process of negotiation, a push and pull between the competing interests of an individual farmer or of people in a community as they work to solve complex problems about how we grow our food. In conclusion, I want to emphasize that we may not be able to go back to the old times and live a simpler lifestyle, but we can take an active role in preventing more environmental problems caused by carbon dioxide emissions. In the next lecture, I will share some of the studies and effective solutions with you. That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.